Friends, Shabbat Shalom again. I thank the congregation for giving me the honor to speak with you this evening. Friends, I've just emerged from a 2-week vacation. We were invaded by our 4 grandchildren. 3 of them stayed with us, of course, with their parents. My grandchildren are ages 9 months, 2, 3, and 6, and it was quite an experience. A lot of food, they are quite fussy, many tantrums, reading books, going to the park, naps, age-appropriate TV, games, and of course a lot of diapers. And it was tiring and trying at times, but Jade and I would not have changed it for the world. Jewish tradition is so specific about what a parent is called upon to do. The Talmud in Kiddushin lists the following obligations of a father to his son. A father is obligated to circumcise his son, to redeem him, to teach him Torah, to marry him off to a woman, and to teach him an occupation. Some add also to teach him to swim. Rabbi Yehuda says that any father who does not teach his son an occupation teaches him really to steal. Of course, this text is archaic, but it does make the point parents have specific obligations to their children. But what are our grandparents called upon to do in Jewish tradition? What is the role of a Jewish grandparent? In Psalm 90, it says that the span of our life is 70 years, or given the strength, 80 years, and is considered a great blessing to see your grandchildren. And in Psalm 128, it states, "May the Lord bless you from Zion. May you share the prosperity of Jerusalem all the days of your life, and live to see your children's children. May all be well with Israel." The tradition is clarifying what many of us feel. We want to be involved in the life of our grandchildren. And how modern families are so spread out makes this difficult. That's especially the case with our family. The Talmud is very specific about our Jewish grandparenting. Not only do parents have the duty to teach Torah and the skills to earn a living to their children, grandparents do too, based on the verse in Deuteronomy that says, "Make them known to your children and to your children's children." Of course, my 4 grandchildren gathered at our home at a very special time on Passover, and the gathering was centered around our family Seder. And from a technical point of view, I give our family Seder this year a C-, and I'm grading on the curve. The Seder is made up of 15 discrete parts, which has been established at least 2,000 years ago. We were only able to do about 8 or 9, and even on our second night, it was difficult. God willing, there will be more Sedarim in the future, and we can do a better technical Seder. But from an emotional and spiritual point of view, our Seder was off the charts. The Seder is about the engagement of all who are present, and 3 of my 4 grandchildren are Israelis and native Hebrew speakers. And they instinctively know songs and traditions from their education. Our 6-year-old did very well with the 4 questions. Our 3-year-old did very well with the blessings of wine and matzah. The way to describe our experience as a family with our grandchildren is the Yiddish phrase, shep nachas, to derive pride and joy. Why does this entire experience together matter? Why do I care that my family is together and that my grandchildren are engaged in this Seder experience? Jews have been celebrating the Seder since the 5th century BCE, typically associated with the tradition of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt. It is a 2,700-year tradition. It's self-evident. How do we forsake it? For me, Judaism is a sacred story of an extraordinary people. It is my story. A story which began with Abraham, who lived 4,000 years ago. He created a revolution attacking paganism and affirms a singular God who demands morality and who seeks to plant the Hebrews in their own land. The story continues with the rest of the patriarchs who struggled to create meaningful lives, meaningful families, often in a hostile environment. The Hebrews experience slavery. They leave Egypt under the leadership of Moses, who shows determination and courage. They ultimately experience a profound moment at Sinai that leads to our Torah and our obligations to God. They enter the promised land and struggle with how to create an ethically based political structure. They establish a holy city, Jerusalem, where the temple is built and a God-centered religious life flowers. They're exiled when the temple is destroyed, and yet they have created a new form of Judaism based on study, worship, and deeds of loving kindness. The story goes on and on and on, and I could tell you that story in every generation. And to me, it is a miracle story, not because God has made it so, it's because of somehow the strength of the Jewish people to make it so. And we're still here in seeking to serve God and humanity. Of course, other people have their own sacred stories, and I honor them, yet this Jewish story is the foundation of my life. It gives meaning and purpose. This story is so sacred and personal that I want to pass it forward to my children and grandchildren because I believe that it is a great gift that will give purpose and meaning to their lives as it has done for me. I say this as a proud, serious Jew. Until my last breath on earth, I am dedicated to nurturing that Jewish story. To my grandparents, to my grandchildren, how well I succeed is really my report card for my life. That is my fantasy and hope as I sit at the Seder table with my children at any time. If we don't know what we are living for, we haven't yet lived. Friends, that is my wish and prayer for all of you, to love the Jewish story, to experience it not only at Passover, but every day of our lives. There are many things that I am not certain about in life, but one thing that I am certain of is the gift of Judaism. I pray that my grandchildren will feel this deep in their souls, and I pray that all of you who are experiencing our services tonight feel the same way. In every generation, we are called upon to tell our story, to live within the story, to thank God for allowing us to be part of the story, to dedicate ourselves to moving the story forward and to adding to it. And I conclude with one of the morning blessings of Judaism. Blessed art you, Lord our God, who has made me a Jew. Shabbat Shalom.